This video is powered by KR Mangalam University. A startling set of claims has now begun circulating globally, raising the possibility that a so-called Mossad road may have extended deep into Iranian territory, triggering shock and intense debate across strategic and intelligence circles. In parallel, even more provocative questions have emerged around whether Israeli intelligence may have played a role in enabling the United States to briefly and covertly infiltrate Iranian territory under the cover of a high-risk military operation. At the center of this unfolding narrative, fresh scrutiny is now being directed at the events of April 3rd, with analysts and observers questioning what exactly transpired during the reported US operation inside Iran. And as these competing accounts collide, a more unsettling question begins to take shape. Was this truly a straightforward rescue mission, or did it double as a carefully concealed operation involving Mossad-backed planning and support? Let's find out. What began as a high-risk military incident quickly unfolded into a far more complex story, as US Special Forces were reported to have launched a dangerous rescue mission deep inside Iranian territory following the reported shoot-down of an F-15E aircraft on April 3rd. At the same time, an unverified report introduced a far more provocative claim, suggesting that Israel's intelligence agency may have constructed a covert desert landing strip near Isfahan to support a US extraction operation under extreme conditions. That allegation, if true, pointed to something much larger, as the idea of a so-called Mossad road immediately raised deeper questions about how far foreign intelligence networks may have penetrated inside Iran's highly sensitive interior regions.
Recently, the Mossad has become a highly effective offensive and defensive organization, even during the wars themselves. In the campaigns against Iran and Hezbollah, we worked shoulder to shoulder alongside the IDF, both in defense and in offense, exerting influence based on relative advantages and a true partnership in striking targets in the heart of Tehran, thwarting senior officials, achieving air superiority and defending the Israeli home front. The operations that received citations this year allowed us to break boundaries in Lebanon and Iran.
Adding another layer to the story, separate unverified reports went even further, alleging that this infrastructure may have enabled American C-130 transport aircraft to land inside Iranian operation that would require extraordinary coordination and secrecy. Soon these claims evolved into a broader narrative, with multiple sources alleging that Mossad may have built an asphalt road in the same operational zone, specifically designed to support aircraft movement in a hostile environment. But as these reports circulated, they also triggered serious skepticism, with analysts questioning the sheer logistical feasibility of constructing and operationalizing such an airstrip, like road under the nose of Iranian surveillance systems. In fact, the military viability of this entire scenario, from building the road to executing coordinated air operations, remained unverified, leaving experts divided over whether such an operation was even realistically possible.
We obtained strategic and tactical intelligence at the core of the enemy's secrets. We demonstrated new and groundbreaking operational capabilities in the target countries. Whether we experienced the effectiveness of an innovative, powerful system to strike enemies, or carried out the covert diplomatic campaign, whose importance is critical for forging regional alliances and expanding the strategic depth of the State of Israel alongside the IDF. We have changed the strategic posture of the State of Israel and strengthened its power. At the same time, we are committed to remaining hypervigilant. We are committed to operational intelligence audacity, and we are committed to the principle of action. We will not rest on our laurels when facing a threat. We will act with full force.
From Iran's perspective, however, the interception appeared very different, as officials and aligned sources suggested that the US rescue mission may have been a cover for a much broader covert operation in the Isfahan region. Some Iran-aligned accounts went further still, claiming that the mission may have included elements of reconnaissance or even potential sabotage targeting sensitive nuclear infrastructure in the area. So what exactly happened on April 3rd? And how did a reported rescue mission spiral into something competing narratives of espionage, infiltration, and strategic intent? Well, according to initial reports, Iran downed a US F-15E aircraft during an operation over its territory, forcing at least one American airman to eject and land inside what would be considered hostile ground. In response, the US military reportedly initiated a combat search and rescue mission, mobilizing specialized units trained for high-risk extractions in denied environments. Some reports claim that a temporary landing strip was used during this operation, allowing aircraft to land briefly in central Iran to carry out the extraction under intense pressure. That alleged landing site was said to be located in a remote desert region near Isfahan, placing the operation dangerously close to one of Iran's most strategically sensitive zones. However, the mission was not without complications, as mechanical issues reportedly affected one of the extraction aircraft, adding another layer of risk to an already precarious situation. Despite these challenges, US forces were ultimately said to have completed the extraction of stranded personnel, executing a cross-border operation that required precision, timing, and secrecy. Some accounts suggested that this success may have depended on pre-prepared infrastructure on the ground, raising further questions about whether the operation had been planned far in advance. There were also indications of possible intelligence coordination between Israel and the United States, pointing to a level of cooperation that, while not unprecedented, would carry significant geopolitical implications. And in the background of all of these claims sits a longer pattern, as reports of covert infrastructure and clandestine operations inside Iran echo a history of alleged Mossad activities that have targeted the country over the years. Thank you for watching Hindustan Times.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.